everyone, it is Amy for our monthly Aha Moments Live. I wanted to talk a little bit today about how long you want to live. I know that sounds maybe a little bit morbid, but I hope it's more inspiring than sad. You know, are you looking to just live another year, or are you looking to live another 50? For those of you who don't know, I am going to be a centenarian, somebody who lives to be 100. And so I'm working now each step of each day, trying to make sure that my body is strong and capable of living. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be 100 and be in a wheelchair. Like, I want to be a viable, like, all my mental faculties, and still be able to walk and do all the things I want to do until I'm 100. So because this is something that I realized not so long ago, is that we are only given one body. One. We can't trade this in. I know many people who try and do plastic surgery to make their body different, but it's not going to make it any younger. It's not going to make it any different on the inside or make it last longer to do some of the things on the outside. We really need to work on preserving the inside of our bodies. And I know I'm speaking to the choir with many of you on, food and exercise. But it's not only about, what we're putting in our mouths and making sure we have good, good thoughts, positive thoughts, lower stress, things along those lines. But we really need to think today about how long we want to live, because you don't want to get 10 years down the road and be like, oh man, if only 10 years ago I started doing something. So make this the day you start to do something. Walk for 10 minutes, every night after dinner. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to run the Boston Marathon, which will be canceled anyway. I tell you this because listen to what I did. My posture has not been the best for most of my life. And that is because I developed really quickly and got teased mercilessly when I was younger. And as a result, my shoulders, I'm trying not even to do it, but were very rounded. And I had a horrible posture. My mom used to slap me on the back all the time. Stand up straight, put your shoulders back. Well, years and years and years and years went by, and my body just became accustomed to it. Now, over the years, I tried those bras that, P.S., don't work. They dig into you, and they're really uncomfortable. And some of them aren't even bras. They're just things that you can put on that pull your shoulders back. I've tried, oh my gosh, how many? I actually went to the doctor, and I asked if they would put me in a back brace so that I could train my muscles to hold my shoulders back. And it didn't work. I tried tape. I took medical tape, and I made like an X on my back to pull my shoulders back. That didn't work. And you know what happened with that? My muscles just spasmed like crazy. I had to have somebody rip that tape right off my back. So at the end of last year, I decided to hire a personal trainer to help me strengthen my back muscles, and so that I would stand up straight, so that I wouldn't be the hunchback at 90. I wanted to be able, because that leads to a lot of other problems, right? Which is what I'm talking about. If I want to live to be a vibrant, vivacious, energized 100-year-old, I don't want to have poor posture now, because, it's just going to progressively get worse as I age. So I hired this person. He tried. I will give it to him. He really did try. And over the years, I also realized that when I was looking at the computer, I would get horrible, do you guys get this? Horrible neck pain? Horrible, down into my upper shoulder. I guess it's called a trapezius muscle. But my neck especially would just hurt so bad. And so after years of this, I finally moved the monitor so that it was literally right in front of me, so that I wouldn't be doing one of these, because ultimately that's what I was doing, right? And it didn't really help. And I was getting shooting pains down my arm. I had so much pain on my arm, I couldn't sleep. It would just throb and throb. It was almost like a toothache. It would just throb in my arm. And I kept thinking, well, I just need to strengthen it. I just need to strengthen it. If I just did a couple more bench presses, if I did some, hands up the wall, all these things. Because I had frozen shoulder years ago. And if you've ever had that, you know the pain that I went through. It was a year in physical therapy. I do have mobility back in my arm, and I did check, and it wasn't frozen shoulder that I was experiencing, but I didn't know how to fix it. And then finally one day I went to the doctor and I said, look, I'm not sleeping. I'm having incredible pain. And she sent me to a physical therapist. And what the physical therapist did was she went like this on my shoulder, on my trapezius muscle. And I think there are marks on her ceiling where I jumped into the ceiling. My muscles were so tight that she couldn't even get down deep in to loosen them up. And so same with my neck and stuff. So I had this thing done called dry needling. Have you ever heard of dry needling? Let me know if anybody here has heard of or has had dry needling done. Dry needling is what some physical therapy, I didn't know this, you guys. This is something brand new. I just started going to physical therapy like 2 weeks ago. They take acupuncture needles and they put them into the muscle and they get them in there until the muscle almost twitches, and then it relaxes. It relieves lactic acid and some other buildup in your muscle and allows the muscle to no longer be like tight as a rock, but relax enough that they can get in there and really work it out. So I had dry needling done on my trapezius, on my delt, on my tricep. They did it in a couple of areas. And I will tell you, it was instantaneous on my trap. It literally went from hard as a rock to soft as a marshmallow. It was the coolest thing ever. Now I know you guys are saying, did it hurt? I wouldn't say it hurt. I would say that it was a lot of pressure and it felt a little strange. But the after effects have been amazing. And now she's able to get in there. And she said that I might not have to have another one. Sometimes one is enough. Other times you need just a couple. It's not something that you need to do forever. So if you have something that's really tight and you go to even get a massage and it hurts and they're like, yeah, you're really tight, you might want to think about going and getting some dry needling done. Now, I had it done at a physical therapy office, so you may need to check in that. I don't know if an acupuncturist would do it. Probably. They're the same needles. But they're different because they're working on like meridians and stuff like that, I think. Somebody who knows more about acupuncture than me, please correct me if I'm wrong. And so that has been a godsend. But what she said was enlightening, my physical therapist. And she said, I can't tell you how many people come in here and say, I was just trying to work it out. I was just trying to rest. I was just trying. I want you to know that my situation may be a wake up for you. So if you have something like, you've got, from looking at the computer, your eyes really hurt, or your neck hurts, or when you walk, I don't know, your hips starts to really ache. Don't let that go too long, because if we're going to be centurions, and hey, look, I don't want to be a centurion by myself. You guys need to be there with me. Then you need to take care of yourselves. And part of that is not letting stuff go. I will tell you that muscle has been really tight, and that neck has been really tight. Goodness knows, over 10 years. How crazy is that? And I think what had happened was I had done some bench presses and I had the correct form. For those of you who are going to jump on here and say, it was your form. It was not my form. I had a trainer and he was telling me I was doing perfect form. But I think that what was happening was I was doing perfect form, but not the correct muscle was working. And so what was happening was my trap was so used to assisting in everything that I did, and my shoulder blades were so weak that my trapezius muscle had to work overtime, that lifting and getting heavier and heavier and heavier, it eventually just was like, time out, girlfriend, I'm done. And then sent shooting pains down my arm so that I would wake up and go to the doctor. So learn from me, learn from my situation. And if you are dealing with, even if it's just stuff that comes and goes, have it checked out and get it fixed for good so that you don't need to deal with it anymore, you know? Oh, have you guys ever had a TENS unit? Talking about things that maybe you don't know what you don't know. A TENS unit is something that they put little pads on your muscles, and then they send an impulse, and it like bzzz, it like buzzes, it vibrates a little bit, and if they turn it up even more, it'll make you like twitch. It's supposed to make your muscles relax and absorb oxygen better and all that. I don't like that. I tried it twice. I was like, yeah, not a fan. But when I asked my brother and sister, they loved it. It's called a TENS unit. And when you go to physical therapy, they put it on the muscles that they've worked on a lot of the time to help, bring more oxygen into the muscle after it's been worked on. I know that many of you may or may not believe this, but I think that things happen for a reason. And there was a variety of things that this physical therapist that I ended up finding has really helped with. Because as a result of going to her, as a result of her really working on those muscles, she is also strengthening the muscles that need to be strengthened so that my trapezius muscle doesn't do the work, and therefore I will stand up straighter and my posture will finally be corrected. So I put out there that I needed some help with my posture. Unfortunately, my personal trainer wasn't really we weren't really successful. And so hopefully this physical therapist isn't going to only help with my shoulder, but also help with my posture. But that's it, you guys. I just wanted to check in. I miss you so terribly. I wanted to make sure that everybody was doing okay with being quarantined. I wanted to make sure that we're thinking positive thoughts and what good things are coming out of Corona. I wanted to impart to you that, if we want to live a good, long, healthy life, that it has to start with our choices today, and that some of the things that I'm doing, like dry needling and TENS unit and, getting the help that's needed for physical therapy to fix that arm and eventually my posture, is all stuff that I'm doing. And I'm hope to inspire you guys to do the same, because I want you around with me. Anyway, I miss you all. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying healthy. And make sure that you do little things for yourself today to ensure that as you get older, you'll still be here with me. And until next month, I hope you have a fabulous couple of weeks, you guys.